Hey, it's Angie.
And Sherrel.
And we are talking about Ginger today for her passion for food column in the Oklahoman. Now, this is Ginger right here, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, but when many of us think of Ginger, of course, I'm naive, but I think of gingerbread men. So
of
tell us
course,
about
that's
this.
probably the first thing you think of, unless you were a Ginger Rogers fan or something.
Right. So this doesn't look like a gingerbread man.
No, not exactly. Although they do call it in China, they refer to this as man root because you see it's shaped like sort of like your hand.
Oh, look at that.
And the Chinese have long said it's good for the body for everything that your aches and pains. So that's my excuse to eat all kinds of
there you go.
things with ginger in it. And I'm addicted, unfortunately, to these little crystallized ginger slices, which are the peeled ginger that's been treated with sugar and boiled down, softened. And it also comes in chunks, and I use this in salads and things like that. So
and then this is?
This is powdered ginger. This would be if the ginger root was dried and processed into a fine powder, and this is what they use to make gingerbread men out of, in combination, of course, with molasses and flour and that sort of thing.
Now, how do you pick, when you're picking these type of ginger, how do you pick, how do you know what's good and what's bad?
Well, I brought several today so you could see. This one, while you could salvage this and use it, you'd want to try to avoid something that has all these splits in it. And then notice if you feel of it, it's starting to soften somewhat, and you don't want that. See how this one is firm and it has very few, they sometimes call these toes. It has very few. So there are several ways to peel it and use it fresh. And that's part of what we're going to do today.
Yeah, how do you peel these?
Well, the best way is with a spoon, believe it or not, instead of a knife. Now, you can use a knife, but the skin is very thin.
Well, look at that.
And you just peel it away with a spoon like this. Now, since this is hard economic times, we don't want to just pitch all this peeling. What you can do with this is save it, and I've saved some like this. You could put this in a plastic bag in the refrigerator. Can you? And then you can put this in a kettle and pour boiling water over it and let it steep a few minutes, and you have a wonderful ginger tea.
There you go, ginger
and
tea.
So you're using it for something which I just love.
Very
and then
nice.
All you need to do is add a little honey and lemon to that, and it's a great remedy for sore throats, or it certainly feels like a remedy. Even though it may not cure it, it sure makes you feel better.
Yeah, and today we're going to be making a ginger soup.
We are.
All right.
And I've already processed some ginger coins, which are the things that after you peel the ginger, you slice it straight across like this into little coins. And so that's what you can use, a broth that you purchased or some of your homemade stock if you like. What we're going to be doing is using a wok today, and you could use a nice soup pot if you wanted to, and it helps if you turn on the right burner. This is a high temperature oil for frying. You could use peanut oil. This is a specialty oil from the Republic of Tea, and it is a stir fry oil, so you can get it a lot hotter. So you can turn the burner on as hot as you want and speed up the process if you like. And you just need a tiny bit to go in the bottom of the pan. And I get that heating up, and then I put the things that cook the longest, take the longest to cook, little carrot rounds in, and it starts sizzling, of course, right away.
It does, I know it.
And then, of course, the pepper slices. This is, I found these cute little peppers, and I thought, those will make pretty rings in the soup. I'm going to put those in. And then some celery. And I could add some chopped onion or minced garlic, or I could use, and I'm going to use some of these green onions and add them. And I'll save the green ones to add a little later so they won't get too... But this adds a lot of nice flavor. We already have some of all of these things in our broth that we're steeping over here. And we'll just toss this around, and as soon as the carrots are still slightly crisp, or al dente, the Italians say, although this is more of an Asian soup. Now, you may have other things on hand. Maybe you have some zucchini squash
you can add to it.
Some mushrooms would be great in this. But you want to keep the heat up and Keep the stuff moving occasionally.
All right, Sherrel, how's it looking?
It's looking pretty good, and you see it's starting to get a little bit of caramelization on the edges of these things. This is like a wok this is a special, unique tactic of the wok, I suppose you might say, or tactic of the cook in order to get the wok to impart its flavor. That caramelization adds to the flavor of the overall soup. But we don't want to get it too dark, because we want to keep our soup just right. But it's time, the carrots are just crisp enough that we can go ahead and add our bok choy, our baby bok choy.
Okay. And this is kind of like a related to cabbage?
It is. It's related to cabbage. It's very good for you.
Okay.
If you can't find the bok choy, of course you can get the regular size and cut it across the grain. And you keep the heat up, and this will start to wilt down. Now, you could use spinach if you wanted to, or you could use the greens of like a kale or a cabbage in here, and that works great, and all of that is very cleansing and healing to the body. So it's a nice, really nice soup to have on hand this time of year.
Okay, so where do we go from here?
I'm going to need your help. Okay. Now you're going to have to hold this pretty firm, Angie.
Okay.
And I'm going to pour our stock. It may collect a little bit of this stuff. And I'm leaving, notice, all of this stuff that I infused, this flavor, in the pan here.
Okay, so and now Sherrel just got out some noodles here. Tell me what this is all about.
Okay, this is a bean thread noodle.
Okay.
Interestingly enough.
It's definitely
now I've softened
like
it.
a thread.
Yes, and they're all different. If I could read Chinese, I could tell you more about it. But this is, you see the word vermicelli, which is the familiar word on here, and it's and they're all different packaging. In various Asian markets, you can find these specialty noodles. And so you'll have to kind of experiment, and because they're all a little different. Try first soaking it in cold water. If that doesn't work, soak it in hot water.
And this is we're going to add this to the soup?
We're going to add this to the soup.
Okay.
And if that doesn't work, you can boil them for a little bit till they soften, because they're just little crisp packages like that. So we're going to add this at the last. See, I mean, how much that makes for that one little bundle. Makes this huge batch of noodles.
They're kind of pretty.
They are pretty, I think. Some people call them glass noodles.
Yeah, it looks like angel hair.
Yeah, it does. You could use angel hair pasta. I would cook it ahead of time, though, and add it kind of at the last minute. Now, I could probably put maybe 4 bunches of noodles in this if I wanted it really thick.
Okay.
With this particular noodle. And it's going to be hard to ladle up in the usual way because of the noodles.
Okay.
But we're going to try. Now, you could do a big bowl like this if you were having it as your main course for dinner. Or I love to use it as a restorative to just sort of restore your energy during the day, because
don't we all need that?
We all do. And also, if you feel like you've come in from the cold and you need to warm up, the ginger adds its own warmth to the soup. So we're going to dish this up, and I'm going to take a ladle, and this may not have many of the noodles in it, because to do that I may need to use tongs to add some noodles to it. So,
very nice. I love how colorful it is.
I think it's beautiful, and it's very appetizing.
Yeah. I love this little bowl.
Oh, yes. This is great. This is perfect. Or you could do a big bowl like this for a main course.
Little spoon.
Yes, the little spoon. These I call slurping spoons.
There you go.
And this is a slurping soup almost, especially if you have the little noodles in it. But this is, I love this spoon because it helps cool the soup as it comes to your
So you're going to
mouth.
garnish it a little.
I'm going to put a little bit more of the onions, depending on how much you want. And some Chinese parsley or cilantro, as we know it.
Yes. Oh, it smells
great little herb to add to things.
Well, that is beautiful.
So, anyway, so this is perfect for the winter time and
to revive your spirit.
Yes, a great restorative.
There we go. There we go. We'll catch this recipe in the Oklahoman in the Life section, and also, of course, on newsok.com. This looks wonderful. Thank you, Sherrel.
It is wonderful. And try some fresh ginger.
There we go. Thank you.